Good afternoon and welcome to our Shotsuki service for the month of March. Today we are remembering those family members and friends who have passed away in the month of March. We have with us today our supervising minister, Reverend Dennis Fujimoto. Please join our beginning with quiet meditation. Place your hands together in Gasho and Sensei will ring the bell to begin and end the meditation.
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida. Namo Amida. Namo Amida. Namo Amida.
Our opening gaka will be living, gratefully on page 85 of the White Book, and Dr. Kent will give us a little instructions before we sing.
So this is one you haven't sung before. I'm going to sing the first verse for you, which is essentially the whole page. And then we'll do it, I'll restart it and we'll do the whole thing together. Okay.
Standing, we will read the Threefold Refuge on page 10 of the Purple Book. The Threefold Refuge. Difficult is it to receive a human form. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Dharma of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not cross over to the truth in the present life, in what life shall we cross over? Let us with sincerity and true reverence take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we, together with all sentient beings, awaken to the great way of enlightenment and to the unsurpassed intent of Amida Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we, together with all sentient beings, enter the storehouse of the Dharma, becoming like the wisdom ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we, together with all sentient beings, become units in true accord, in harmony with all things. The peerless, profound, and wondrous Dharma is rare to encounter even in many hundreds and thousands of kalpas. Now we are privileged to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida. Namo Amida. Namo Amida.
I will now read the names of the Shotsuki honorees for the month of March. For those family members and friends observing Shotsukihoyo today, please come forward for incense offering. Haru Fujihara, Seitaro Hamamoto, Saemon Hamamoto, Toshiro Itano, Ei Kameoka, Tomoichi Kawaoka, Ushitada Masuoka, Tokuyemon Matsuda, Yasuke Maeda, Ayako Morita, Frank K. Oda, Ted Sakato, Chiyoji Shimizu, Hisako Sugimoto, Yoshito Sugioka, Fred Tanaka, Saikichi Yoshimura, George Shimizu, George Yutaka Yokoyama, Hatsue Botani, Lloyd Yamasaki, Betty Meehan, Nanayo Yokoyama, Kiyoshi Akutagawa, Hui Kung Lao, Shizuo Tsujihara, Shigeru Sueoka, Toyotaro Sueoka, Thomas E. Gable, George Chizuru, Mark Hiroshi Furusho, Yasuko Ueda, Jun Hasegawa, Mary Hamamoto, Mitsuo Tsujihara, Emiko Moreland, David Fujimoto, Haruko Tsujoka, Kyoko Takayama, Toshio Ueda, Martina Anderson, Hiromi Wakayama, Jimmy Yamakawa. We will now chant Sambujo, which is on page 24 of the Purple Book. This will be followed by dedication, and today's sutra will be Amida Kyo, the first part, pages 103 to 113 of the Purple Book.
on this occasion of the Shotsuki service for the month of March, members of our temple families have fervently come before Amida Buddha in memory of their beloved. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the three Enmanjis. Namo Butsu, Namo Hoyo, Namo Soul. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Namo Amida Butsu. こみみょこけつしゃりほこくらこくろちょうじゅにょせくどくしょぐんくしゃりほいぶこくろちょうさてんかくおごんにじちゅうやろくじにうまんだらけごこくしゅんきょうちょういしょうたんかくいえこくちょうしゅうよけくよたほじゅうまんのくぶつしゅいじきじげんとわんこくむついよぎょしゃりほかくらこくろちょうじゅうりょうせくろくしょうがうししゃりほいこくじょうしゅうじゅうびみょうさしししょじゃこくじゃくおむしゃりかよびんがうみょしゅうちょうせしょしゅうちょうさえじゃよくじしわげろごもんねんちょごこんごりきしもだいぶんあしょどぶんよせこごぞしゅうじょもんせおんに開出念仏念法念僧しゃりほにょもついしちょうちつぜさいごしょしょしょししゃがいぶこくどぶさんまくしゅしゃりほごぶこくどしょむさんまくどしりょうかきょうじつぜしょしゅしょかいせあにだぶつよよおんせんりゅうへんげしょさしゃりほにぶこくろにふすいのしょほごじゅうほらもすいみのもんにりょう百千十学長子ぐさ音声音社会知念長念仏念法念僧死心者りほごぶこくろ上十両せくどくしょ
We will now have a Dharma message by Reverend Fujimoto.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to be back at Enmanji. It's always special to come to the Shotsuki service and being able to watch the family members come up and offer incense. It's always touching to me. When we do come to the Shotsuki service, I think it gives us an opportunity to connect the dots in our lives, looking back to complete the picture of our families. We kind of secure our own foundations when we think of the people we have lost in our families. And then from there, we are able to move ahead. So as we do this, the temple comes to mean something very special to us. And when I see sometimes families are able to remind younger ones, invite them to come to the service this time and let's do this together. And so we make our family connections by encouraging this, and not just to think of who we lost and somebody I miss or remember, but we make ourselves whole. We re-whole ourselves when we come and we remember them and these dots that we connect our families, we ground our lives, and we are able to move forward. So I have one story that one of my favorite stories. I think it helps to make this connection of how the temple becomes special to us, becomes meaningful in our lives. So in this family, happened in Japan many years ago. So two wives, neighbors and friends, they're looking forward to a special service that's going to come up at their temple. So they're talking about it and looking forward to it, and so Sensei is going to come, and remember the last time he came, and he tells such good stories, and it was so much fun. So they're reminding each other of their encounter with this Sensei the last time he came, and so making plans to having this opportunity to enjoy another special service at the temple. And it's going to be a day-long event, so they're thinking to go pack our lunch, and so between the morning and the later session, we can have lunch together, talk to some of our other friends, and they're going back and forth and just looking forward to it. And so then the husband comes home from work, and he's a little grumpy from having a tough day at work, and he's not as enthused about their plans as they were, right? So he's listening to them chatter, and then the friend goes home, and finally the husband says, why do you keep going to the temple? The Sensei talks about the same thing over and over again. Don't you get tired of it? Why don't you do something else? Stop wasting your time at the temple. So the wife got quiet, feeling bad about getting reprimanded by her husband, stopping all this enthusiasm and the good feelings that she and her friend had, carrying that good feeling all through the day. So, they were so looking forward to this special time at the temple. So after a little bit, she sits down at the dinner table and she tells her husband, every day you come home from work and have sake with your dinner, day after day, same sake. Don't you get tired of it? Why don't you quit drinking? So he's getting upset. So stop meddling. I drink my sake because it helps me relax. I can think about the day. The food tastes better. I can rest my body and my mind and be ready for another day tomorrow. I get energy from the sake and the meal, and then I feel better. So the wife says, I feel the same way about going to the temple and listening to the Sensei. When I hear the Dharma, it helps me relax, and I can think about my day. The food tastes better, and I can rest and be ready for another day. The Dharma stories give me energy, then I'm ready to face what comes next. So, using his same ideas gently, she puts him in his place. So he tells him this story, and then the women, she and her friend, are able to go to the temple the next day to enjoy the temple services, to listen to the Dharma, and I hope our feelings too about the temple kind of grow like this, and we recognize what we gain when we come here. Not just remembering mom or dad, grandma, grandpa, but feeling whole again, feeling connected to them, connecting to each other as we chant. All of these connections emerge, and then we feel completed, right? And this is something that we come to recognize, not just by doing it once every 5 years or something, but when we come regularly and we'll say, yeah, I appreciate this, I like this feeling, right? And we come back, we develop a taste of what the temple provides for us, making us whole. So I think that's a nice thing. Today I wanted to take a little bit of time to look back. Dr. Kent and I went to the BCA National Council meetings a couple of weeks ago. Last week I talked about it a bit in Alameda, and there was some more to the stories. There's so much happened during that weekend, so some of these stories I wanted to share here at Enmanji. So, sometimes when we go through the temple calendar, and this comes up and that comes up, and for us, to leave, it takes a preparation to go to the National Council meeting. We're looking forward to it, but it gets so busy, tie up loose ends here, and then leave for 4 days and go up there, and same thing for other things, right? Obon, you get ready, preparations, bazaar, you get ready, and preparations, and the event comes, and hopefully all goes well. So sometimes the temple is a very soothing place, meditative. Maybe like today, we can be mindful, we can be present, right? And when we go home, we feel better. We leave grounded, like I was just explaining. But at other times, when we're getting ready, it's more like a 4-man bobsled run at the Winter Olympics, right? We get our team together, we push as hard as we can, and we jump on, hoping we don't crash, hoping no one falls off, hoping no one gets disqualified. And hopefully we finish what we started, jump up and say, yay, that's what I'm talking about. And then we get rewarded, a medal, or maybe free manju for life. Something, right? Something good comes out of it, hopefully. So one of the things I came back with from the National Council meetings, not a gold medal, but this book. Okay. It says Renyo Shonin's Letters. It's a very special book. It's a project that the Seattle Betsuin had been working on. Okay. So this project began, and they worked on it from 1948 to 1976. Okay. And they published it then. And then they republished it last year, rededicated it in 2025. So this project is special because this is the first translation of Renyo Shonin's letters to be presented into English. The very first one. Right? Renyo Shonin, I think you know, on this side is Shinran Shonin, on the other side is Renyo Shonin. And so why is he up there? So this book kind of gives a glimpse into what he provided to Jodo Shinchu Buddhism, and so it makes it a very special book. Then it's all the more special because it was done by a temple study group, lay members, and ministerial guidance, okay? Not by scholars and professors at the university, Ryukoku University, Otani University, but at the Seattle Betsuin. This would be like Lauren and who else? Diane finding a manuscript in the basement here or something. Hey, look at this. Hey, Dr. Kent, what do you think? Maybe we should finish this up and have it published. Let's finish it.
It's okay, we'll make it a BEC project, right? Can you imagine just finding these things? As, wow, the first ever English translation. So they thought it was special. They thought it was special, and it is. And they completed it to complete this book on Renyo's letters. So Renyo Shonin, he's the 8th descendant from Shinran Shonin, and he's written many, many letters, and he distributed them throughout the countryside to the common people, right? These were the people who were the followers of the Nembutsu teachings, Namo, Amida, Butsu. Simple people, our ancestors, who were the farmers, the merchants, the fishermen in Japan, eking out a living, working hard every day just to get by. So the letters were written in very simple Japanese that anyone could understand. You know, you don't have to have gone to school or but just simple Japanese. And he wrote these letters and this talking about Jodo Shinchu perspective on a number of different topics. So when we have our funerals, we read one of those letters called On the White Ashes, our Shin Buddhist perspective of encountering death. But there were many, many topics, and he passed out letter after letter after letter. And because of that, things that were misunderstood by the followers, maybe misdirected by the leaders, they all got some clarity to this. So these letters had a huge impact on the followers and led to this resurgence, revitalization of the Jodo Shinshu teachings. So from the time of Shinran, the teachings, the power of the temple, how many members was going down. They thought it might not last forever, but from what Daniel provided, these letters, people got interested again. So it could have been the two wives talking to each other. Maybe they got a letter, this and that letter, and they're reading about it, talking to each other about what does Jodo Shinshu, what is this Nembutsu teaching. They could share it with their children at dinner time, lunchtime. And so it became all the more family-oriented Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, right? And it had a huge impact. So then, Renyo Shonin passed away, and 22 years after Renyo died, his grandson decided he would collect as many of these letters as he could. You know, some of the temples nearby, they kept these letters. Some families, prominent temple families, kept these letters. Said, do you have my grandfather's letters? And collected these, right? So he was able to collect a bunch, 265 letters that his grandfather had written. And of these, he selected 80 letters that he decided these are very key letters, and he put these. This became the collection known as the Gobonsho. So kind of cool story. And there were 5 other letters included, 4 of them, the letters of summer, and a 5th letter, kind of a biography of Shinran Shonin. So all of these were collected together. And so this is what's in this book. But it really shows kind of the spirit of the Sangha, not only Seattle, but we have that spirit of Sangha here. Every temple has that, right? They just had this opportunity and occasion to be able to work on a very special project. But we have projects here all the time. Every temple does, okay? So maybe Renyo Shonin's grandson went to Grandpa's Shotsuki service, right? Maybe he was like sitting at their temple, coming up to Oshoko, chanting, coming up to Oshoko, remembering Renyo, remembering Grandpa. Maybe he wanted to know more about Grandpa. So maybe I should collect the letters and see what was it he wrote. So he finds this collection and come up with this book. Okay? There are other translations now, but when they did this, they didn't know it was the very first translation into English from the Japanese. And they were so meticulous about it. They would translate the Japanese into English, and to test it, they would send their English to someone who spoke Japanese, translate that back to Japanese, and see if it would match the original. So carefully, meticulously, trying to go back and back so it would be true to the words as much as possible, right? So, tremendous story. Wow, that's nice. And so they provided books to the ministers and the temples. And just gave them, I believe, we brought one home for Enmanji to have in their library. And when you have a minute, you can take a look at it. And it's interesting to read the foreword of how it came to be. They have the original foreword and then the new foreword, and how this Sangha teamwork kind of happened to create this book. So yeah, take a look. So, it was so important at that time for Honganji, and it continues to be a very important resource for those of us here today, to come to know, the thoughts of Shinran Shonin and the Nembutsu teachings. One other thing I wanted to talk about that happened there, when we have our National Council meeting, they asked the most recently retired minister to provide the message at the Eitaikyo service. So this year that was Reverend Sakamoto from the San Jose Betsui. He retired, and so he was asked to give the Dharma message there. And just this past Friday, they had an open house for the IBS dorm, and I was able to go there. And I was a student there in the 70s, and everything is refurbished nicely, beautifully done. And so one of the other students that have come there, Reverend Bishop Harada, he was a classmate of mine there, and Reverend Shinseki, who just retired the previous year. They were all there at this gathering, so we're looking around and saying hellos and everything. But when I was a student there, Reverend Sakamoto came, transferred from Hawaii, and came to the Buddhist Churches of America to serve. And just some third generation, looked like the rest of us, and got to know him. He stayed went through his orientation there, took classes with us, and we got to know him a little bit. And what I remember about him is that he's colorblind. You're colorblind. How do you know what to wear? and he said, oh, my friend helped me by putting labels on my clothes so I know what colors they are and what goes with what. Okay, that's cool. So sometimes you can mess with them. Did the label fall off? How come you're wearing that? But we get to be good friends over the years and things like that. So he's giving the Dharma talk in Renton, Washington at the National Council meetings. And he's talking about his Hoyo, his Dharma name, right? So here, just a couple months ago, we gave up opportunity to go through the Kiyashiki, receive your Dharma name. So he's talking about how he received his Dharma name. I thought I would share that with you today. When he was in Hawaii, serving the bishop over there was Reverend Imamura, Kanmo Imamura. Okay? So I told this story in the morning at Alameda. His son Bill was one of our ministers, so his picture they see every Sunday, right? So Kanmo was the grandfather and the bishop in Hawaii, and his son became Kanryo, who served at Alameda, maybe 10 years older than myself, So when Sakamoto Sensei got his name, they gave him this name, Kango Sakamoto. And at the time, he thought, what kind of name is that? He said, gee, I wanted a cool name. Congo. What's Congo? So he was disappointed that he would have a name like Congo, I I don't know what he thought of it. Seems okay. Bongo, Congo. I don't know why he thought it was bad or something, right? But he said, but after years went by, more and more I started to appreciate my name, Congo. Bishop Imamura, Kanmo Imamura, gave me his name. He included me as part of his family. So thinking about it in those terms, it became his name, Congo, became more endearing to him and kind of grounding his whole life into the movement of Buddhism from Japan to Hawaii, the United States. You know, if you know a little bit about the Imamura family, they had a huge and tremendous impact upon Jodo Shinchi Buddhism coming Hawaii to America. And so it took him many, many years, but he was very touched with that. And through that, I thought it's a nice opportunity for me to talk about the whole meal. You know, so when we receive a Dharma name, you know, some people want to pick the perfect kanji and have it, hope it comes out with a nice combination, but it's not another diploma or certificate that we hang on the wall, right? Not another title that we have earned or something like that. So the whole meal, I try to explain, for me, the whole meal is not a description of the individual. The whole meal is a description of Amida. And so when we receive the whole meal, our attention is turned to not, my self-centered self, but to more than that. Amida means a greater understanding, appreciation of what I am, that I am connected to this infinite universe. This is what Namo Amida Butsu means, right? So when we have received the whole meal, we have a different identity of not my self-centeredness, but this other-centered being. And so that's what makes it special, right? So if we can see that aspect of what a whole meal is, then every time, it's not like something I earned and something I got and something I'm proud of, but should be, when you see your name, you hear your whole meal, your head bows automatically. How did it come to be? The bishop gave me, presented my whole meal. And I'm appreciative, right? All that it means, all that it connects us to. So this is what makes it special. So as our awareness grows, we must turn our attention away from ourselves and towards Amida, towards this greater identity, towards this greater reality. And the whole meal guides this turning, guides our growth of awareness towards this infinite reality that we call Amida. This is our spiritual path, guided by Renyo, guided by Shinran Shonin, guided by our good teachers, our good friends along the way. And then gradually we become more, each of us become more. Please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei. Our closing gaka today will be Ichiobi, which is found on 138 of the Brown Book.
As Reverend Fujimoto mentioned, all the temples got a copy of the Renyo book, and I'll have that in the hall when we go to the hall after service here. In addition to that, some of you may know that Reverend Kuwahara from the Jodo Shinshu International Center has led the effort to publish a book that was actually written by Reverend Fuji, who is Dr. Fuji, the late Dr. Fuji's father. He wrote a book on something like Essentials of Buddhism that was published by the Jodo Shinshu International Center. I don't know if it's in English. I have a feeling it may just be in Japanese. But that was republished by the Jodo Shinshu International Center. And also at the National Council meeting, they gave us posters about Eco Sangha. So I will put that up also in the hall this afternoon. Thank you.
I'm Larry. I'm the coordinator for the Chowmin lunch event that's coming up. It's March already, so we have about 4 weeks. Just a little update that we have our shopping list into our vendors, and everything's looking pretty good. So looking forward to a good weather and a good showing of people to come and support the Chowmin event. We will be having a food preparation day on Saturday the 28th, starting at 9 a.m. So I think the Toban leaders are kind of coordinating that. And then Sunday we'll start about 9. And the event goes from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And we're usually finished by 4:30 or 5. So yeah, everything's going well, and we have a good day today. So thank you.
Thank you, Kent and Larry. Are there any other announcements? If not, this will conclude today's service. I'd like to thank Reverend Fujimoto for his Dharma message, Daryl Yagi for the kancho and the setting up of the onaijin, Dr. Ken Matsuda for playing the organ, Tai for doing the videotaping, and the March Toba for the flowers and the offerings. If you have not yet done so, please feel free to offer incense, and light refreshments will be served in the hall. Have a safe trip home.